All right. So we start with sociology. Let's go to. It is not that clear, but we have to manage. So we start with Unit 1, theory and methods. The introduction. So when we talk about sociology tries to understand how people behave in the society, that the relationship people have with the society, what makes them to behave the way they behave, and why would they have behaved that way. That is what sociology is about. So I said sociology tries to understand and explain the relationship between people and the society they live in. So it's about the society, which is the group you belong to as an individual. That is what society is. So what do you do in this group? What do you do within this society? So this is what sociology is going to tell us. So at the end of it all, there are structures that either we make or makes us. Do you get what I'm saying there?
Do we make or it makes us?
Yeah, either we make the structure or the structure makes us. That is what sociology is about. That's why we have the interpretivist and the structuralist. So basically, there are actions that has been taken in the society, either through individuals taking that action, or the structure, the society itself, makes individuals to take the action. So there are two things here. Either it comes from the individual perspective or it comes from the society perspective. This is all what sociology is going to let us to understand. You get the point here?
Yes.
So that's the first thing. Then, what is the society? I said it already. The society is that group that an individual belongs to. So basically, sociologists, they said sociology consists of actions and beliefs of people and how these things can change the society. So our actions, our belief, that has to change the society. That's the reality. So whatever society that we have right now, it's either we make it or it makes we. That is what we're talking about here. So they said individuals have complex behavior. As a result, sociologists use different kinds of tools to study them. They use theories and methods to explore these things. So individuals, we are dynamic. So our behaviors are complex. So it needs theories, it needs methods. So we need deep analysis to understand why we have done what we have done, why we have behaved that way we have behaved. What is the society thinking about how we behaved, and how are we seeing the society? So all these things are complex. They are not things that we can easily understand. That's why we have the sociologists. So what do sociologists do? They have different approaches to how to understand the society. So that brings us to talking about the interpretivist approach and the structuralist approach. So we start with the structuralist approach. So we're talking about how individuals or how sociologists interpret the society. So the interpretation of the society will be based on how they approach the society. So we have the structuralist. So they said there are two main approaches to sociology, which is structuralist and interpretivist. So I'm starting with structuralist here. So for structuralists, the approach focuses on large scale, which is the macro, and which are social structures and institutions rather than individuals. So when we talk about institutions here, we're talking about families, we're talking about the society, we're talking about schools, we're talking about... So these are what institutions are. And the social structure are the ties we have, maybe through the church, through the mosque, through our parents. These are all what the society is about. So for structuralists, they see more of this social structure than individual. So they believe that individuals are puppets, which society is pulling the strings. So it means that for structuralists, they believe that whatever we do as individuals is based on how the society made us. That is how structuralists sees the society. Do you get what I'm saying there?
Say the last part again.
Yeah. For structuralists, their approach is positivist. Is positivism. What it means is that they use natural science in their approach. They use correlation and causation. So before we go into correlation and causation, what I'm trying to let you understand is this. For structuralists, we said sociology is about studying the relationship, understanding and explaining the relationship between individuals and the society they live in. That is what sociology is about, right?
Okay.
Great. So we cannot really understand how the society is because the society, individuals, we are complex, we are dynamic. It's difficult to people are difficult to understand. Even the society itself is difficult to understand. So the sociologists, they now divided it into two ways of interpreting the society. So some interpret it on the individual level, which is the interpretivist, and others interpret it on the society level itself, which are the structuralists. That means they interpret the society according to or based on the structure of the society. That's why we call them structuralists.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
So for structuralists, I said they see the society as a set of structure which individuals play a definite role. So the structure is there, which we have to play into. So our roles are always there because the society has made our roles available. So whatever happens, it is happening because we fit into that role. So the society has pulled us to behave the way we have behaved. That is what structuralists believe on. Do you get that now?
Yes.
So then I said this, okay, this means the role individual play are important than the individual. Okay, the roles individual play. Yeah, I said they see society as a set of structure which individual play a definite role. This means the role individuals play are more important than the individual themselves. So what they are saying is this: you play a role in the society,
Okay.
but your role would have caused an action, yes or no?
Yes.
So at the end of it, something would have happened.
Yeah.
So they see the role you play.
Okay.
They see the role. They feel that the role you play is more important than you yourself.
Yeah.
Because whatever you have done would affect the society. So they see the society, not you.
Yes.
Do you get structuralist?
They
Now?
see your action, but not you.
They see your action, not you. Do you get it? So because your action would affect, your action is going to affect the third party.
Yeah.
And who are the third party? The society.
Yeah.
So that means they see the society than you. So
Than you.
whatever you do is more important to them than who you are.
Yes.
Do you get it? So they feel your action as add up to what the society has become. You understand? Because your action would have created a result. This result is part of the society. So they see the macro, not the micro, not the individual that did it.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yes, I get
So
it.
that's why they said this means the role individual play are more important than the individuals themselves. So what role you play, the role you play is more important to them than you
Yes, sir.
as an individual.
Yeah.
Do you get the point there? So sociologists use theories to discover social structure that may be hidden from individuals. So examples of structuralist approach is the work of Emile Durkheim on suicide. So for Emile Durkheim, he is a structuralist using positivist approach.
Okay.
So what he's trying to understand is that, or what he's trying to let us understand is that suicide is not something that is private. It's not something that is individualistic. It is the society that makes it to happen. That is his own belief. So here I wrote, he chose to study suicide because we always think it is an individual act motivated by private struggles. So we the society, we believe that whenever someone commits suicide, we think because he is troubled, he is depressed,
Yeah.
he has some private issues
Okay.
that has made him or her to commit suicide.
Yeah.
But for Emily, he believes that is not the case. He believes that the social structure made individuals to commit suicide, not just that individual himself or herself.
Because they didn't get the attention. That's it.
Probably. So let's see what they wrote here. He tried to show that social forces are behind suicide. So for example, the connection between individuals and the support networks, such as the family. So for Emily Durkheim, he believes that suicide is connected with social forces, like the connection between families and the connection between religious group. Do you get it? So for Durkheim, he believes that if the society, I think that's the first or second.
That's the second.
Yeah, it's okay. So he concluded that if there are strong relationship between an individual and the family, the rate of suicide would reduce.
Yeah.
It means that people are not always available. The society is not always available to listen to people that are depressed, that are having private issues, troubles. That's why they result into committing suicide. Do you get it? So, for Emily, he believes that the high rate of suicide is as a result of what the society has made of them.
So yeah, the attention.
There's no attention
Yeah.
that people do. The society doesn't give these people attention. That there's no close connection
Yeah.
between them. So whenever there's no a weak connection will increase the rate of suicide. Why a strong connection will reduce the rate of suicide. That is about Emily. Do you get it? So he uses correlation and causation. And when we talk about correlation, it's basically talking about two variables with evidence that, oh, when this thing happened, this thing would happen. So strong connection will reduce suicide. So these are two variables. Suicide is a variable, connection is a variable. So they believe whenever this variable happens, the next variable will happen.
Yeah.
That is correlation. So if this happened, this would happen. That is what correlation is about. So the relationship between two variables. But sometimes it is difficult to find the causation.
Causation, what's that?
Causation means why it happened. For example, now let's talk about people might say ill health, like ill health.
Yeah.